if somebody's going to go run with something and do it, super simple, it's going to be Rebecca, right? And I just love that about her. So let me just give a little tiny bit of background with the way I see it, and then I'm going to grill her on this stuff. So in my mind, what she's done, she's taken a little bit of the tapping idea and the really short Google document, and she's using both in conjunction, right? And so she's running cold traffic to that. She's got a really simple, very no-brainer offer, right? And taking that to get on the list, and she sends them a real short text. They say, yeah, I want it. Then she gives them the Google document and they come in, right? But I'm going to shut up now and let Rebecca do it. She'll do a way better job. So if you just explain to what you're doing, then I'm going to grill you for more details.
Well, I wish it was more complicated than that, but it's not. When you started mentioning Google Docs, I don't know, maybe about a month ago now, your 2-page Google Doc, as soon as I heard that, and we were about to start this funnel that Dan was genius to create, and I was like, oh man, I wonder if this could work together. And I didn't know for sure because they're coming in cold traffic. I got these numbers. We've had about 66 leads come in through this funnel. About seven of them have converted into our program already. So not a bad percentage there.
That's great.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Yeah.
And we haven't been running it for a full month straight. We'll turn it off when, we're taking care of the leads and stuff. So this week, Monday, you released that video about how you don't have to be the non-creative type. And I was like, that's me. I don't have time to be too creative. So I was like, okay, let's just get this puppy done. And it literally took me 20 minutes to put that doc together from the template that you provided. And then I watched that video and I was like, okay, we can make this happen. Add 7 students, give me we did less than $200. We created the offer to be $187. And we just sent out a bulk text to all the people that had come in from that funnel so far. And that day we got 3 sales. And I was like, hey, that's not too bad because we haven't even spent $1,000 on ad spend on that funnel. So the goal of this, and it's been happening because we've been running it all week, is let's see what leads come in. Our VAs nurture them a little bit as well if they ask questions and things. And then part of the nurture funnel is that question. Now, hey, we're about to release this. Do you want it? And we did it kind of like your Google Doc as a flash sale. We're doing this as a flash sale. So we'll see how that kind of plays into it, the timing of that. But that's how we've tested it this week. And so far this week, we've gotten 7 Google Doc sales.
That's awesome. So let me break it down a little bit because your wording on there was really genius. And back before I did big ticket, I did low ticket, and I worked with I was an affiliate marketer and I did AdWords, right? So this is really similar to what I used to do with AdWords, to test offers and ads and everything real quick. But your wording, so you send out a text, right? Let me back up just a little bit. So these are coming in from lead ads that Dan helped you with, like lead ads, all right? So they're coming in from lead ads, which everybody says don't work, right?
Yeah.
You get shitty leads, right? Everybody says lead ads don't work. They're shitty, right? But we're doing the regular Mojo thing. Let's not go off thinking. Let's go off of data, right? So they're coming in off a lead ad, and then you're actually texting them, right? So how are you getting their text? Is that in the lead ad itself, or?
Yep, in the lead ad, they give their phone, their email, their website, and then they're able to book a call. And
Perfect.
If they book, we'll tap them. If they don't book, we'll keep nurturing them.
Are you individually texting them, or is it a broadcast text, or what kind of sits are you using there?
Yeah, it's automation. And then when they respond, our VA will come in and take over the conversation.
Perfect. Okay. So let's go to the response mechanism, which is the way you've worded it. So Rebecca, my brain is not
I'm trying to find the exact text that I sent out so I can say.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Okay. If I showed you how to add 7+ students on a Saturday training, it's so smart, right? On a Saturday training, right? Would you give me less than, here's another thing I like. You said, you didn't say a number. You said, would you give me less than $200 for it? Right?
Yeah.
So it's an offer, what I call offer T1. You're kind of doing the give me the if I gave you this, would you give me this, right?
Yeah.
And they say, yeah, I would, right?
Yeah.
Let's go with the yeah first. So if they say yeah, then what happens?
So then we said, the automation says, awesome, Jesse, to make it easy, I'm going to attach a file with how we're serving up this awesome sauce. Or do you prefer it emailed? And then we attached the link there. And then we said, or do you prefer it emailed? Because we figured some people would not want to do it on their phone. And some people did. They said, yes, please email it. And then we emailed as well.
So you have that automated.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And so they get the document, right? And of course, you don't have tons of numbers here, but I bet some of them are coming back and say, okay, do you have the payment link right inside the doc?
Mm-hmm.
So some of them are just go ahead and paying, right? And then some of them are probably have a question or two, right? If they're before they come in, right? So tell me what happens at that point.
So I don't want to say all of them because I don't know for facts, but the majority of them, we've just been seeing payments come through. And then we'll like, oh, that person paid. And then the training. But we did have one person say, well, what's the next step? He bought it. He says, I got it. Now what's the next step? And so we're like, oh, well, he's ready to upgrade.
That's what I was going to talk to you about here.
Yeah.
Beyond this, right?
And what's really cool is that more people than I've expected have already started the training and have been asking us questions like, okay, well, what about this? And what about that? And I'm like, oh, like this wasn't just like I paid for it and it's still in my inbox,
right,
which happens with low ticket offers.
That's right.
This is like, they're actually diving into it. And I'm like, oh, this is good.
Yes. So you've put 6 people in or 7 people in, like it wouldn't be unreasonable to up level 2 or 3 of them into your bigger thing, right? Off of just a little tiny bit of ad spend, right? So that's pretty awesome. Yeah. So this is what happens with MyGDoc. Like 90% of people will just purchase. There'll be a few that'll say, hey, I've got a question. And I'm not even trying hard, right? Like, again, this is where you can put a junior tapper in. They're just like, hey, what about this? And you just answer it. You don't even like try to, you're like, okay, like I'm gonna go get it, right? Like, and we're seeing like 9 out of 10 of those. They have to go actually look at the numbers, but like almost everybody purchases after that one question, right? So, because they already have all the info, they just have that one question left, right? So, and then yeah, the big thing I wanted to talk to you about is, hey, make sure you're following up with those buyers, right? Like, and sooner is probably better than later, right? Like, hey, you just the thank you team, the thank you campaign. Just wanted to thank you so much again for purchasing that. I know you're probably trying to get your first Saturday training going, right? What most folks have a challenge with is this, if that's you, would you like any help with that, right? And then you can send them the next thing, right?
Right. So one thing we included was a Q&A. Now, I don't know how we're going to do this as an ongoing, so that there's still pieces of this pie we have to figure out. I don't know how we do Q&As ongoing unless we did them like weekly maybe, because right now it's set in the, hey, this is a week sale. My intention is we nurture them or we give this offer for 5 days from the point of, beginning. And then at 5 days, hey, that sale's gone away. So I don't know how we're going to do all the Q&A yet, but that's part of it is like the next part of the nurture that we're going to include once they've purchased is, have you scheduled your first workshop?
Yeah.
That's the big thing they've got to get over. Like, have you just put a date on the calendar and scheduled it? And
either way they answer, you win.
Yeah.
If they haven't, then, hey, we want to make sure you get that done. Like, what's holding you back, right?
Yeah.
And then you can help them with that. If they have, right, then they probably have fears, uncertainties, and doubts about that, right? Or what happens after that point, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
As far as the follow-on calls, and maybe I'm not quite maybe I'm not quite understanding what you're doing, but I just say I'll do it when I feel like it. They're like, oh, okay, right?
Yeah.
And I'll let you know, so that way I can see how many people come in and how many go on, and if I, and then I'll do another one, right? But I'm not setting any particular schedule on these things, and everybody seems to be okay with it.
Okay.
Right? Because the real goal for me is to convert more people through it, kind of like a Zoom appreciation call, right? So I'm happy to do more. I just don't want to I hate having things on my calendar locked in like little prison cells, right? Like, I just want to kind of put it on there. I'm not saying that's everybody, right? But that way, if you get more flow, you can do more. But if you don't have a lot of flow of them, then you can do less, if that makes sense. So
Yeah, perfect sense.
So I'm going to put in a couple of points here, and then I want to kind of open it up. If anybody has any questions for Rebecca on that. But first, thank you so much. Just like, it's just so wonderful to see you guys taking that stuff and putting it out in the world. But, like I didn't always do big ticket, right? And I did a lot of affiliate marketing stuff. How many of you guys have done a lot of affiliate marketing stuff? You've done a lot of, with lists or anything. So one of the things, if you're looking at an offer, right, like a lot of work can go into it before you release it to your list, right? Now it's kind of old hat, but I think kind of people forget about it a little bit. But we used to do, like in my relationship advice list, right? Instead of me saying, oh, I wonder if a credit repair offer would work, right? Let me go, write the copy for it and go find a credit repair offer or like all those different things. We do kind of what Rebecca did, right? So do this in AdWords ads. I wanted to test an offer out, right? I would just put the price in the ad, right? It would throttle my CTRs, but I could see if I got enough click-through and enough sales on it. But on the email, I would just send out an email like to my relationship advice list. I'd be like, hey, a lot of folks that are going through breakups kind of screws up their credit. If I could show you how to fix your credit, would that be worth $100 to you, right? I'm like, yeah. Then I knew to do further stuff on that, right? Because they've already said, yeah, I have this problem and I'm willing to spend that much money on it, right? If nobody responded back, then I didn't have to go search for that offer or what have you. It also gave me leverage. It also gave me leverage for the people that I went out to. I'm like, hey, I've got a relationship advice list. I sent them this question, right? And 50 people said they would purchase it, right? What kind of deal can you work me? So I'm always trying to negotiate my percentages, right? If that makes sense, right? The same thing, if you guys are thinking about a new offer, you kind of see this float out in the social media space, but you don't see it like Rebecca just laid it out. Hey, if I did this for this amount, and I think the less than is really smart. For less than, would you take me up on it? Would you do it? Would you want it? If nobody raises their hands, right, scrap it, right? Does that make sense? So there's another I was thinking about this on my walk today. Money loves speed, right? We've all heard this. Money loves speed. But what does speed love? Money loves speed, but speed loves simplicity. Right. So the faster you can get these out there and get it out there, and like that's why I love the simple Google documents, right? But the faster you get it out there, the simpler you can make it. Now you've got speed, and of course money likes that speed, right? Especially when things are changing in the market and we want to go test something. So I don't know about y'all, like, sometimes I'll have an offer and I'll be like, okay, well, I got to do these 50-11 things, and I got to do this 50-11 funnel, and it just never gets done, right? So I'd much rather just like put it out there and see like, would they like it, right? If that makes sense. But doing it in an offer T1 also puts the price value proposition in there, right, on that. So it's so smart. Any questions for Rebecca on that?
I've got a question.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
Go ahead quickly. So Rebecca, like they're obviously coming into your funnel with an offer, right? How is that different to the offer that you're sending out via the T1?
So the offer on the ad is add new students for $20. And I mean, it's like a yellow brick. It's so ugly, but it's still working. As Dan said,
it's really
ugly
good.
Converting ad. It's like add new students for $20. But we haven't gotten any pushback of like, well, this isn't the offer that we came in for. We haven't
Mm.
had that yet. I think it's just because they want new students. I mean, they're just like,
Yeah.
give me more students. I don't care how you give them to me. I just need them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. We do the same with our stuff, right? So like what our offer is in the ad is not what actually they want. It's kind of like a switch and bait type thing, but still ethical. But yeah, we're finding the same thing. Like when all of the SMSs started coming in, and questions from our potential clients, they kept on asking for a price list and how much volume you could do and what the quality was like. So we took Travis's, I can't remember one of your, what was it? One of your, the T3s. And we just kind of turned that into, we called it a price list, volume and quality document. And then
That's
we
great.
just text that over to them and it has exactly the same effect as what you've done. So, and they're just saying, I'm in. It's just so easy. Yeah. So it's cool.
Speed, love, simplicity, man. That's great. Go ahead, Ed.
That was my same question. So great job, Rebecca. Pretty awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that.